Harvey Weinstein is something rare in Hollywood these days, an old-fashioned, risk-taking movie producer. He's the co-founder of the Weinstein Company, which has backed some of the most memorable films of the last 2 decades, from Pulp Fiction and The Piano to Cold Mountain, the cult favorite Kill Bill. The list honestly goes on and on and on.
A legendary name in the business for sure. This year, Weinstein gambled that audiences will enjoy a mostly silent, black and white film called The Artist. And he also thought the time was right to explore the legend of Marilyn Monroe with a new movie called My Week with Marilyn. Harvey Weinstein, good morning.
Hi, Jeff. Hi, Erica.
Nice to have you here.
Yeah, good to have you here.
Nice to be here.
Good year for you.
So far, so good.
Yeah. So let's talk about The Artist first, because this is clearly getting a ton of attention, and good attention at that. What possessed you to back a silent film?
Possessed is probably.
You like that? You like that?
Oh yeah, that's the softball today. You know, I've loved silent movies. You know, I went to film school. Chaplin, Keaton, are the obvious choices, and there are many more after that. But I followed this director because he made a James Bond spoof called OS 117. I tried to get my brother to hire him to do Scary Movie, but somehow it didn't work out. So I was a fan of his, and I knew he was making this movie in Los Angeles, and it's an American movie directed by a French director with James Cromwell and John Goodman, and it's about the early days, but it's really funny, really smart, an homage and a love affair with movies, and I like those kind of movies.
And I read too, you really like to watch people watch these movies. So have you been able to sit in a theater and get the audience reaction to The Artist? Because I'm sure it's not what I expected when I popped it into my DVD player.
You see it, and the audience explodes in laughter. They howl. Kenneth Turan of the Los Angeles Times said there have been 2 recent movie miracles: Avatar, which is the highest end of technology, and The Artist, which is sort of the low tech.
Right.
But the laughs and enjoyment and thrills are the same on both movies.
So The Artist is not being released in 3D.
The Artist is not.
and I'd like to say thank you for that.
Let's talk about My Week with Marilyn as well. Another bold move, one would say. I mean, some people say we've heard all we need to hear about Marilyn Monroe, or everything has been said. This is sort of a different approach, right?
I wrote an article recently where my mother said exactly that to me. Enough already with Marilyn Monroe. Anyhow, what we found was a young boy, 23 years old. First job on a movie is to work on a movie that Laurence Olivier is directing, Marilyn Monroe in The Prince and the Showgirl. She has an argument with Arthur Miller, her husband. He leaves, he goes off to Paris. The young boy gets closer and closer, and then really close, and a romance ensues. And even though the movie takes place over a period of time, we focus on this one gorgeous week where she kidnaps him one day. They go skinny dipping on the lawn. Sounds like what you do every weekend.
Absolutely.
You know Jeff a little too well.
With Marilyn,
right?
Yeah.
They go skinny dipping on the lawn of Windsor Castle. They go through Windsor Castle Library. I mean, it's just absolutely fun, and it's the charming fun period of Marilyn's life. The movie plays more like a comedy than it does the serious drama, tragedy of Marilyn.
And you actually got to
know her
shoot
more.
at Windsor Castle. I mean, it's amazing some of the places where you could do things.
I have been making movies in England for far too long and never get any of that stuff. I always say, can we shoot here? When I did the King's Speech, can we shoot the Palace? Absolutely not.
No way, not
But I
gonna
think
happen.
after the King's Speech, and also I think there's some footage you can see on YouTube of the Queen meeting Marilyn Monroe. And it's an amazing coincidence that they were almost exactly the same age. So think about what Marilyn would be today.
Wow.
And they got along famously, according to all the newspaper accounts. And we asked for these places pro forma, and we figured, okay, for sure they were never going to do it. Somebody cut the red tape, because we shot in every location we wanted to, controlled by the royal family. Every location.
Not bad.
Next time you're at Windsor Castle, we'd like to join. We wouldn't.
Actually, Jeff is wondering if you could set up a meeting with Pippa.
Skinny dipping?
Skinny dipping with Pippa on the Windsor Castle. Jeff, that'd be good.
Where's your business going these days?
The movie business?
Yeah.
Well, I think there's 2 parts of the movie business. There's, the folks who make movies like I do, which try to be a little different, and not follow the rules. And then there's, put on a cape and be a superhero. I mean, it's sort of boiled down to the 2 things. And, so for us...
It's that strict a division.
Yeah, and I think that people always say it's awards season. Well, it has to be, because the awards season shines a light on these independent movies, not only that our company makes, but 5 or 6 other places. And also also when actors, go off and do something different, and exciting, or make a low-budget movie like George Clooney with The Ides of March, or The Descendants.
Yep.
That light is an important light to be shown on a film because it gets people into the theater. People who normally wouldn't see that movie, they go and then they have an amazingly good time. It happened last year with The King's Speech, which we did, and it happened with Black Swan, which Darren Aronofsky did, and True Grit. People actually went to see something different, and something different's a lot better than the same old thing.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Well said,
for
sir.
bringing us something different.
Well
nice
said.
to have you here this
Bye,
morning.
Jeff. Bye, Erica. I'll let you know about Pippa.
Please do. Thank you very much.
Let me know.